Today is not just another day, chosen one. It is the day the heavens have marked as your historic rise. For years, you may have carried silent battles, unseen tears, and disappointments that weighed on your soul, but none of it has been wasted. Every season of waiting, every delay, every betrayal, it has all been preparing you for this very moment. You see, God doesn't move randomly, He moves with purpose. And now, purpose has aligned with destiny, and your life is about to shift into undeniable acceleration. Think about the greatest turning points in history, moments that seemed ordinary to the world but carried eternal weight. For Israel, it was the day they walked out of Egypt. For David, it was the moment he faced Goliath. For you, this day carries that same level of spiritual magnitude. Your rise isn't just personal, it is generational. What happens for you today will echo through time, transforming not only your path but the lives connected to your destiny. So before we move further, pause for a moment and receive this truth. Your rise has begun. If you believe this message resonates with you, type, "This is my historic rise" in the comments right now, and let's declare it together as a family of faith here on Anointed Era. When God says now, no force in the universe can stop it. You may have felt stuck in the waiting room of life, praying for doors to open that seemed permanently shut. But divine timing is different from human timing. People may label you too late, too old, or not ready. But God's clock is never behind schedule. Today marks the moment when His timing collides with your readiness, and what once felt delayed will suddenly feel accelerated. We often forget that delays are not denials. The butterfly must remain in the cocoon until the wings are strong enough to fly. Likewise, you were hidden because your destiny required maturity, strength, and wisdom. Now, heaven has declared the season of emergence. And when God moves you forward, He doesn't just give you what you lost, He multiplies it. What you thought you were waiting for will come in overflowing abundance. Take this moment in, chosen one. Timing has shifted in your favor. If you feel it, drop a comment below. I receive God's timing in my life. The pain you carried in silence was never meant to break you. It was meant to shape you. Every tear that fell was a seed, and today you are stepping into the harvest of that pain. The nights you thought were wasted were actually the soil where your strength and resilience grew. You've been underestimated because people saw your struggle but not the strength being born in your spirit. Look at history. Great leaders, inventors, prophets, and changemakers all endured seasons of pain before their moment of rise. Nelson Mandela endured prison before he became a president. Joseph endured betrayal before he became ruler in Egypt. Your tears have been your teachers, and now they are transforming into triumph. That deep well of pain you carried will become the very fountain that refreshes others. When God's hand is on your life, no enemy, no betrayal, no system, and no setback can stop your rise. You may have felt surrounded by forces working against you, but today, those forces lose their grip. Think of the Red Sea, an impossible barrier until God stretched His hand and made a way. That same power is working in your favor right now. Even in your weakest moments, God's hand has been steady. You didn't survive by accident. You survived because His hand was covering you. While others may have walked away, heaven never left you. And when heaven moves, everything must align. Opportunities, people, resources, and doors will all begin to bend toward your purpose. This is why your rise today is unstoppable. Delay is one of the most frustrating battles a chosen one faces. You may have felt like your life has been in a constant waiting mode, where every dream takes longer than expected, and every door seems just out of reach. But today, delay breaks. What once took years will now take months. What once took months will now take weeks. And what once took weeks will now take days. The season of divine acceleration is here. Delay often has a purpose. It protects us from what we weren't ready for. Sometimes the opportunity comes too soon, and without maturity it collapses. But now your preparation season is complete. You have endured, you have grown, and you are ready. Heaven is declaring over you, no more delay. And when heaven says it, earth has no choice but to respond. Mark this moment, chosen one. Today, the spirit of delay is broken over your life. Your rise is historic because it comes against all odds. The world did not expect you to survive, much less succeed. You were counted out, overlooked, rejected, and even mocked. But chosen ones always rise in ways that defy logic. Think of David, the shepherd boy who became a king, or Esther, the orphan who became a queen. Your rise will carry the same shock and awe. It will be undeniable proof of God's power. The odds were stacked against you for a reason. If everything had worked easily, people would have said it was luck. But when you rise from places you should have fallen, no one can deny it was divine. Your testimony will not just be your victory. It will be a weapon of inspiration for others who feel like the odds are against them. Chosen one, hear this clearly. Your rise is proof that God is greater than statistics. There are times in life when you can literally feel the atmosphere shift around you. It's that moment when things that once resisted you suddenly begin to align, when closed doors start to creak open, and when what felt heavy begins to lift. Chosen one, today marks such a shift. The spiritual climate over your life is no longer cloudy with delay, it's clear and radiant with breakthrough. This is not your imagination. It is the movement of heaven on your behalf. Think about how the weather changes before a storm or before dawn. You can sense it even before you see it. That's the same way spiritual atmospheres work. Before the blessing manifests in the natural, the shift happens in the unseen realm. And right now, in this very moment, angels are rearranging things, destiny is recalibrating, and your rise is being sealed. What you feel in your spirit is confirmation. The atmosphere has changed. You have lost things along your journey, relationships, opportunities, resources, even pieces of yourself you thought were gone forever. But today, restoration begins. God is not only able to give you back what was stolen, but He has the power to restore it in multiplied measure. Job lost everything, but when God restored him, He gave him double. That same principle applies to you, chosen one. Sometimes, restoration doesn't come in the same form. You may not get the exact thing you lost, but God replaces it with something greater, stronger, and better aligned with your destiny. That job you lost may return as a business of your own. That relationship that fell apart may be replaced by divine connections that push you further than you imagined. Your rise today carries with it a promise of restoration. You will not stay empty. One of the most powerful signs of your rise is the confidence that begins to settle in your spirit. For too long, you may have walked in doubt, questioning if you were good enough, ready enough, or chosen enough. But today, heaven reminds you, you are chosen. And with that identity comes authority. When you rise with a confidence that cannot be shaken because it's rooted in God, not man. Think about how lions move. They don't chase validation from other animals, they walk knowing who they are. That's the type of confidence your rise carries. This doesn't mean arrogance, it means alignment with divine identity. It's the moment you stop apologizing for being who you are, stop dimming your light for others, and begin walking boldly in the fullness of your calling. This confidence becomes magnetic. It draws opportunities, people, and favor into your orbit. Your rise today is not just about you, it's about those who come after you. Some of the battles you fought were never meant for you alone, they were generational battles. Poverty, fear, rejection, cycles of failure. These curses may have run in your family for decades, but you are the one chosen to break them. Your rise is a generational rise. Through you, your family tree will be rewritten. Imagine Abraham. His obedience didn't just bless him, it blessed nations. Imagine Mary. Her yes didn't just affect her, it shifted eternity. Likewise, your rise will outlive you. Children, grandchildren, and even strangers will benefit from the breakthroughs you birth today. Heaven is not only lifting you, it is lifting your bloodline, breaking chains that held generations captive. This is why your rise is historic. It will echo into the future. Your enemies expected your fall, not your rise. They spoke against you, doubted you, and even celebrated your struggles. But what they didn't know was that their opposition was the stage for your testimony. Today, your rise is happening in such a way that those who mocked you will have no choice but to watch in silence. Like Pharaoh witnessing Israel's exodus, they will see the undeniable hand of God in your story. Do not waste your energy trying to explain yourself or prove yourself to those who never believed in you. Your results will speak louder than your words ever could. The same mouths that gossiped about you will be forced to witness your elevation. This isn't about revenge, it's about God's justice. He promised that He would prepare a table for you in the presence of your enemies, and today that promise is manifesting. Chosen one, walk with peace. You don't need to fight, your rise is your response. There are chains you carried for years, some visible, some hidden deep in your spirit. Chains of fear, doubt, anxiety, poverty, rejection, and even spiritual attacks that made you feel trapped. But chosen one, today is the day those chains break. When Paul and Silas prayed in the prison, their chains didn't just fall off. The prison doors swung wide open. That same power is working in your life right now. The truth is, many of the chains you carried weren't yours, they were inherited. Generational cycles tried to bind you, but God handpicked you as the breaker. This is why your rise is historic. It's not just your freedom, it's the freedom of everyone tied to you. When those chains fall, others in your bloodline are set free as well. What once held you down no longer has authority. One of the greatest gifts of your journey is wisdom. Every struggle, every delay, every betrayal, it all carried lessons that made you wiser than before. Now, as you rise not just with blessings but with the wisdom to sustain them. Many people gain success but lose it because they lack understanding. But your historic rise is different. It is anchored in wisdom, discernment, and divine insight. Look at Solomon. When he asked God for wisdom instead of riches, God gave him both. Wisdom is the key to unlocking and maintaining divine success. You've been trained in the school of hardship, and now you walk with an inner knowing that cannot be bought. You understand people better, you see through deception faster, and you make choices with greater clarity. This wisdom will be one of the greatest treasures of your rise. Chosen one, declare it boldly. I rise with wisdom. Favor is about to saturate your life in ways you've never seen before. Doors will open not because of who you know, but because of who you are and whose you are. Favor makes people recommend you, opportunities chase you, and resources find you. The Bible says Jesus grew in wisdom and favor with God and man. That same grace is resting on you now. For too long, you've had to push, strive, and struggle to get recognition. But your rise brings a shift. What was once difficult will become effortless. People will go out of their way to bless you without knowing why. Systems that once resisted you will suddenly bend in your favor. This isn't coincidence. It's divine favor positioning you for elevation. Rising isn't only about external blessings. It's about internal healing. Many chosen ones carry scars from broken trust, betrayal, abandonment, and rejection. These wounds don't always show on the outside, but they weigh heavily on the heart. Today, as you rise, God is also healing those inner places. The same God who raises nations also cares enough to restore your soul. Emotional healing is powerful because it restores your ability to love, trust, and move forward. You will no longer carry bitterness, anger, or shame into your future. Instead, you will rise with a heart that is whole, free, and ready to embrace joy again. When the heart heals, the entire life transforms. That's why your rise today is both physical and spiritual. It's a total restoration. Perhaps the greatest part of your rise is stepping fully into purpose. You were not created to merely exist, you were created to impact. Every delay, every lesson, every pain has been aligning you with your higher calling. Purpose is what separates existence from destiny, and today, heaven is thrusting you into it. Your rise is not just about money, recognition, or success. It's about fulfilling the divine assignment you were born for. Think of Moses, called to deliver his people, or Esther, positioned to save a nation. You too have been chosen for something significant, something only you can do. And now is the moment you step into it fully. This is why today is a historic rise, because purpose has taken center stage in your life. Your rise will not happen in isolation. One of the ways God accelerates destiny is by aligning you with the right people at the right time. Relationships are doors, and heaven is opening new doors through divine connections. You will meet people who see your value, honor your calling, and help elevate you to levels you could not reach alone. These connections are not random, they are orchestrated by God Himself. Throughout history, we see this pattern. Joseph needed Pharaoh to fulfill his assignment, David needed Jonathan's loyalty, and Ruth needed Naomi's guidance. In the same way, your rise will include people strategically placed in your path to support, partner, and open opportunities. This is why discernment is key. You must recognize who is sent by God and who is sent to distract. Today, you are stepping into a season of kingdom partnerships. One undeniable sign of your rise is the release of financial favor. For too long, you may have struggled to make ends meet, living with lack and limitations. But this season, abundance is being unlocked over your life. Money is not evil. It is a tool in the hands of the righteous to build, bless, and expand God's kingdom. Your rise includes financial breakthrough because your purpose requires resources. Think about Joseph. His rise placed him in charge of Egypt's wealth. Think about Solomon. His wisdom attracted riches and honor. God is not only providing for your needs but also empowering you to overflow into others' lives. Chosen one, expect unexpected blessings, promotions, new streams of income, debt cancellation, and opportunities that will shift your financial story forever. Your rise will require a new level of boldness. For too long, your voice may have been silenced, overlooked, or dismissed. But in this season, your voice will carry authority, influence, and weight. Whether you speak to one person or 1,000, your words will impact lives because they are backed by divine power. Leadership is no longer an option. It is your calling. Leadership doesn't mean standing on a stage. It means standing in your truth. It means walking into rooms with presence, leading your family with wisdom, and making decisions that shift communities. Chosen one, the world is waiting for your voice. Stop shrinking, stop hiding, and step into the leadership mantle heaven has placed on you. Your rise is not just for you, it is for everyone who will hear and follow your example. When a chosen one rises, the supernatural follows. Expect unusual breakthroughs, miraculous timing, and divine signs that confirm God's hand over your life. These aren't coincidences, they are messages from heaven. Just as the Israelites saw the Red Sea part, you too will witness wonders that prove God is with you. These miracles will silence doubt, restore faith, and inspire others around you. Miracles are not limited to healing or provision. Sometimes, the miracle is peace in chaos, favor in hostile environments, or strength when you should have collapsed. Look back. Hasn't God already sustained you in ways that made no sense? That same miracle-working power is now amplifying in your life as you step into this historic rise. Expect testimonies, expect breakthroughs, and expect heaven to make itself visible in your journey. Every journey has a defining moment, and this is yours. Today is not about small victories, it is about the crowning of your destiny. Heaven has declared you ready, and the crown of purpose, favor, and breakthrough is being placed upon your life. Just as David was anointed king long before he sat on the throne, you too have been chosen for greatness. But today, the waiting ends. The crown is no longer just a promise, it is a manifestation. This crowning moment is not about pride but about responsibility. With elevation comes greater influence, and with influence comes greater impact. You were not chosen to shine for yourself. You were chosen to shine as a beacon of God's glory. The world will see your rise and know it was not by human effort but by divine power. Chosen one, your historic rise has begun, and nothing will stop it. Hear this loud and clear: today is your historic rise. Every battle, every delay, every tear has led you here. The shift has happened. The atmosphere is open, and your destiny is calling louder than ever before. This is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a new chapter where purpose, favor, and abundance overflow. If this message stirred something inside you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it, comment your testimony, and declare your rise so others can stand with you. And if you haven't already, Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and join our growing family here on Anointed Era, where we walk together as chosen ones, rising into the fullness of God's plan. Your rise is historic, your rise is undeniable, and your rise begins today.